So, Colin Kaepernick says he's going to continue to sit the national anthem until he sees change in this country. And he wants to continue the whining narrative of being oppressed in this country and everything. So I'm going to issue a challenge to Colin Kaepernick because I want to see how real he is about his stance. And then here's a little education for you. He wants to patronize the citizens of this country by saying that what he's done has nothing to do with the military, and just further shows his ignorance, because this has everything to do with the military, what you've done. When you sit and disrespect this country, the national anthem and the flag and flying the flag and holding your hand over your heart is paying respects to those from the beginning of this country to now who have given and risked life and limb and sacrificed time with their families in order to protect the God-given rights that others would want to take away. And you, by sitting, are spitting in the face of those people. You don't stand, you're not standing and putting your hand over your heart to pay respects to the president or to the government or to the senators or the congressmen or to anyone else. You're paying respect to a flag and a country and military who have sacrificed for you. So yes, it has everything to do with the military. But I want to ask you something else. Why don't you, if you're so hell-bent on making this change, why don't you take a stand that means something? Why don't you take a stand that shows your commitment? Why don't you support this cause by sitting? I mean, I know you're already a second-string quarterback, but don't suit up. Why don't you make the statement by saying, I'm not going to suit up and play for a corrupt organization who is a part of a corrupt corporation in the NFL who wants to allow some teams to push a false narrative such as hands up, don't shoot, but then won't allow the Dallas Cowboys to put a decal on their helmets to support the police officers who died at the hand of some thug, no good for nothing psychopath. Why don't you do that? Sacrifice a little bit of that salary. Let them fine you. Let them take your money. Say, take my money if that's what you have to do, but I will not stand for this. You don't want to stand and pay respects. So don't stand for this. Let them take some of your money. Show it that way. But you won't do that because you're looking out for number one. And you think by doing this, you're gonna get some kids in the inner cities who are willing to spend their last $2 or $3 to go and buy a Colin Kaepernick jersey because he knows the struggle. He knows the struggle we're living in. You don't know anything about it, and you pretend. You were raised by a white family who adopted you and gave you everything, and then you want to turn around and you want to spit on them just like you're spitting on everybody else by saying white police officers this and white people that, by taking your stand that black people are oppressed. Well, if they're oppressed, there's only one place you can lay the blame. So you don't have to come out and say that white people this or that. When you lay that blame and you say that black people are oppressed, you're laying it at the foot of one people. And so you're spitting on the parents who raised you and afforded you the opportunity to be able to succeed and excel as a football player. But you want to take a stand? Take it that way. But you won't do that, and we both know that. We both know that you're nothing more than someone who's trying to continue to have a name for themselves, continue to push something out there so that your name can be synonymous with all this other garbage that's going on. Let me tell you something about your oppression, Colin Kaepernick. You're not entitled to anything. Neither is anybody else. No one, black or white, is entitled to anything, and no one, black or white, is being oppressed. Black people and any other poor person is being enslaved by a government who wants to give them everything as long as they'll just give up their freedom. Give up their vote. Give the power to the old white person, and they'll feed you. They'll give you your welfare. That's a slavery of the inner cities right there. And you are worried about a thug, a black thug who got shot by a black cop in Milwaukee, or a thug who got shot in Michael Brown in St. Louis, or a thug in Alton Sterling who got shot because they were doing things they weren't supposed to do, acting in ways they shouldn't be acting, and got themselves shot and killed. Colin Kaepernick, you're a disgrace. You're a disgrace to this country. You're a disgrace to football. You're a disgrace to everything good in this country. And you're a disgrace to your parents.